that allows us more time to dive into Sabre roster construction, wishes, hopes, dreams, anything in between. Marty, you've won the toss. So from a
Okay.
trade
Well,
standpoint, oh, what?
no, I was going to say, since I won the toss, I am going to
You
just make
won
sure
the
that people know
toss.
that,
You won the toss like the Lions won the toss
yeah,
against the Steelers when
it was
Jerome Bettis
rigged.
called it like
It was
20
rigged. It
odd
was a
years
rigged
ago. It was
toss.
like, I called this. And they went against what he called. And yeah.
Yeah, so
So
I'm 2 for 2. But I will tell you this: if I'm going trade hunting, I'm going big
oh,
trade hunting. I'm
okay, go
going
big.
big names here.
Go big.
Okay,
Lead
go
us
big.
off.
Oh, and by the way, the last puzzle on Wheel of Fortune was back porch, which where I should be doing the show from. Since you're in the park, I should be on the back porch. But anyway, okay,
Agreed.
we've already discussed this player, and I know we'll talk about it tomorrow probably again, and we'll revisit the what we're getting on social media. Give us your trades. Who do you want to go after? It doesn't have to be who the Sabres will give in return, just the names. Who do you want the Sabres to make a play on? Because that's what I'm doing here. My number one guy on the list, it's not in order, but it's somebody on my list of 5, is Anthony Cirelli of the Tampa Bay Lightning. We've already mentioned him with Darren Dreger last week, and there's
Yes.
probably many teams that would like to get Anthony Cirelli. 26 years old, has 7 years left on his contract, just a little over $6 million. I can see a Sabres team that has Thompson, Cousins, Cirelli, 1, 2, 3 down the middle, or even move one to the wing and have 1, 2 loaded up. Anthony Cirelli is the first name on my list of trade targets.
I'm uncomfortable with the lower third title right now that says Duffer and Marty's potential trade targets. Like, I feel like it needs to have that question mark, like
Question mark?
like we always do, right? Because is it really potential? I don't know, but I'm not going to belabor any of these names. I think this is best served in a expedited manner. So to counter your Cirelli, whom we spoke of, I'll go with a name that everyone speaks of and has placed in the rumor mill for an awfully long time. He's got a year to go in St. Louis. The former Ranger, Pavel Buchnevich.
Oh yeah.
What do you think of him? I mean,
No, I like that name.
do you?
I
But
really
why would
like.
you like it for Buffalo? I think we all can agree on Buchnevich's career so far, and perhaps an expectation to go even higher salary wise, not by a lot, I don't think, based on where his production is. But he's been good, and I think St. Louis like kind of got. I don't know. They went through a coaching change in the middle of last season. They got kind of saddled with being an either or team and not really a definitive playoff team. But in the end, on many years, they would have made the playoffs. They just
Yeah,
had bad luck being in the West last year when the bottom was higher
very
than most, you
close
know?
to a point a game
And
in the
yeah,
last 4 years, right? When you look
yeah.
about it, close to it with the Rangers in the COVID season, close over it for 2 years with St. Louis, and then like a little short of it last year. This is the time to do it. Last year of his deal, and
Mm-hmm,
I like that there's a little heaviness to his game, and I don't
mm-hmm.
want to use that, but he plays heavy. He
Okay.
can score. He puts a lot of point. I really like Pavel Buchnevich as a trade target here.
Yeah, and I mean, if who knows whether it seems like because his name has been in that cycle for so long that it would seem like a deal that will happen this offseason. We'll see whether Buffalo, in fact, is in play in those discussions. A
Okay.
second name from you.
A second name for me, one that unfortunately could not finish the playoffs this year in Game 7 against the Oilers, and I've mentioned him in the past, Brock Boeser. With
Mm,
Boeser, 1 year left at 6.5, right, 6.6 million. He's 27 years old. And look, I mean, Elias Pettersson's contract comes into play. There's a lot of numbers. They have to revamp their defense. Maybe, just maybe, the Vancouver Canucks would take a good return for a player like Brock Boeser. Now, you have to be careful. Only 1 year left to his deal, but I've always liked Brock Boeser. I think he comes through in big moments, and unfortunately for the Canucks, could not play in Game 7 against the Oilers.
you and your sports people cliches that just rolled off your tongue without you
He
even
does come
noticing.
through in big moments.
No, not that part of it. The
Oh,
part, oh, you got to be careful. Only 1 year remaining on his. I'm like,
well,
this no. You like that the whole premise for me doing this was I only want players with 1
Oh,
year
well,
left. I need the carrot directly in front of every single player. Do well for yourself, do well for your team. Let the future be what it may be. We
okay. I
need the
like
best of
that.
you now. It can only be players, in my opinion, with 1 year left on the deal. The problem is I have not enough screens and or too many screens going simultaneously. This is a name that you mentioned once, and I think you appreciate him as a player. He's a local product in Alex Iafallo.
Yeah.
Alex has been just consistently good, like a good pro since he jumped from college to the NHL with the Kings. Now he's had a year under his belt with the Jets. And, you know, we talked earlier about Evan Rodriguez playing up and down the lineup. Guys like Iafallo are good in many different situations when you need the ability to temporarily or for a term change the lineup, change the look a little bit, right? Smart player, and you know, who knows where it goes for Iafallo from here.
I really like. I like how our lists are going to be so different,
Mhm.
but they're very much have their place in the discussion room, right? And being like, hey, let's look at all the players because there's different returns, different offers, different needs. But
Yep.
Iafallo could go up and play with Thompson and Tuck on the
Mhm.
wing and be first line guy, or could be a third line guy and play with whoever, right? I mean, that's what Iafallo does well. Is he's that multi-tool that can bring you some energy, some production. Like I really like Alex Iafallo and a local guy to boot, so I think that would be really good. My third guy, this is a little controversial here, Duffer. I'm going down the controversial path with my third guy, Nazem Kadri, the Calgary Flames. 5 years left at $7 million, and he's 33. But I want a guy that will stir crap up, that will go in and you put Thompson and Cousins, and then you put Kadri in the third hole, or you play him on the second line, and you say, I don't care the 7 million, because really, I think he can produce close to it. And it also depends what you do with Skinner, with, moving forward. But Nazem Kadri, come in, Buffalo, and be the most hated player against the Leafs, against the Sens, against the Boston Bruins, against everybody. Have that response. Like for the teams that we want to knock out of the playoffs to get in there, Nazem Kadri is my third guy.
Love it. Brock Nelson is next. We won't waste a lot of time on that because I did oral essay on him about 3 weeks ago, and the number of goals, which is 30 plus in 3 consecutive seasons. He ranks in, you know, easily in the top 30, often in the top 20 in goal scoring metrics over the last few years. He may be aging, but he is aging well, and also in the final year of the deal.
Brock Nelson, a really, really solid player, character guy also, and I think that's important. So yeah, and the Islanders, well, you know what? Maybe you can squeeze one on Lou there in Long Island and get Brock Nelson to come over.
As long as
It
you
would
don't
be
have to
tough.
take Engvall as part of the deal, we're good. Oh, because he's
Even if
still
you
got like
have
6 years left on this deal. So
yeah, he's got a lot. You don't want those 6-year deal. I'm
No,
looking at longer deals, but
no, but Kadri
hey,
does make me reconsider my perch. I will say that.
I'm going to make I'm going to call the new team, the Utah Hockey Club. And
Oh,
I'm going
don't
to,
do
first of
that.
all, I'm going to ask them if what's their Uber rating, because apparently they asked the prospect here what their Uber rating were. And they wanted to see what their Uber rating was, which is a stupid question, and a stupid way. Like it's another Mike Babcock. Show me your phone. Let me see your Uber rating. Like, which is stupid. But anyway, I'm calling the Utah Hockey Club and I'm saying, let's make a deal for Nick Schmaltz. Nick Schmaltz, 2 years left at just under 6. He's 28, and I really feel like he could blossom with the talent and the players that we have in Buffalo. He's already taken a big step forward. I think there's a little bit more for him to achieve, and Nick Schmaltz would be that guy.
I'm hung up on the Uber thing here because who had the controversy? Was it the Ottawa Senators?
Yes, the
And
guys
it
were
was
in the
in
Uber.
Arizona,
They were in
which is now
Arizona.
Utah. What is happening? Why are we? I don't know if you would call these straight lines or jagged ones, but how do we end up back talking Uber with a bunch of, oh my gosh. Anyway, this is
They
bizarre.
didn't
Oh,
want to ask the question when they were the Arizona Coyotes. It was too close to comfort. Now they're Utah. They brought it back.
okay. Well, I have to find another name on my list. And it's been talked about a lot. And your buddy, everybody's buddy, probably likes him, but he's got a tough decision to make on him. And that's Travis Konecny, because Travis, again,
yeah.
is coming off a 30-plus goal season. He's entering into the final year of his deal. He had a very good contract. Philadelphia benefited from it. The player benefited from it. It was ultra fair. And now he's going to have to aim higher. The question is, I ask you, is Konecny a good fit for Buffalo based on some of the Kadri traits that you put out there just a few minutes ago?
Absolutely would love Travis Konecny in Buffalo. Just
Okay.
because the same way I think a Nazem Kadri, I want a little mean, a little arrogance, a little like, like Lindy used to say, you have to have that attitude, and it was 2 letters attitude. One was an F and one was a you know what. So I think Konecny, Kadri, those guys have that type of attitude to come in. I think Lindy would like that. My last player, despite the fact that he's RFA this summer, so he's not technically like a trade target, but I feel like they're going to re-sign this player, but you got to get him out of where he is. I don't think it's a good situation for him, is Quinton Byfield. Quinton Byfield, I don't think they're going to let him just like walk. So they're going to re-sign him, and then you trade for him.
He's not going anywhere. He's the future of the LA Kings, man.
Yeah, but he had such a terrible second half with Jim Miller as their head coach. I think that they I don't know that they know what to do with him.
DJ Smith will be the head coach in LA before Byfield is not a member of the Kings. That I can guarantee you.
I've heard that from many players, like when they have 6-7 years on their deal, and they have a little, misunderstanding with the coach. They say, I don't care what he says. I'll be here a lot longer than this guy. So yeah, I've heard that before.
Well, I admire your courage for putting him on that list when everybody else is going to say there's no chance that's going to happen. And
you can always make something happen. Vegas has proven that.
And I don't know if this is doubling down, but it is 2 names to close it out on my list, and call it recency bias. Thank you, Shayna. And call it following the front runners, and call it living in a dream world. But these 2 Panthers are going into the final years of their deals. And I don't care how much you give up, and I don't care which one you end up with. But Marty, tell me the Sabres wouldn't be better off with Sam Bennett or Carter Verhaeghe.
I was going to I was mouthing them as you were saying, salivating for Sam Bennett and Carter Verhaeghe. Definitely 2 players that if Florida wins the cup, like, make it happen. Let's go. Like, they may have to move off for one of them, signing Sam Reinhart. They have to consider the fact that Aaron Ekblad is the year after as well. I say, yeah, make that pitch. That's the dream list right there. That's the dream team, the dream list right there.
Who would, like, if you had to pick one of the 2, though, who would it be?
I think Carter Verhaeghe.
Really? I think it's Sam Bennett.
Yeah.
I think it's because
but
of everything.
It's like 51-49. That's like the 50-50 in Vegas. The house always wins by 1%, right? It's 51-49 right there.
Man, oh man. They because we talk so much every day about this stuff, we're well versed, seemingly, in most of the player statistics.
Yeah.
But every time I go back and look at those 2 and their individual numbers in the playoffs, especially, it's like, did they really take it up even that much high? And yep, is the answer both times, no matter how you want to slice it for Bennett and Verhaeghe. The Panthers have a 2-0 series lead. We have exhausted another little roster construction type segment for the Sabres, and lots more to come on that throughout the course of the summer. We're getting closer to the draft and obviously free agency as well.